about my concerns and my critique and my questions. None of it is motivated by ideology. I shit you not. And people then will scoff at that as soon as I say it the first time, because they assume, everyone projects, that I must be this or that ideology because I refuse to bend the knee to this politician. I've said what I've said, and I stand by what I said, and it's been consistent, fact-based, in no way, shape, or form ideologically motivated, and explicitly about questioning his own words and actions. And see, what you're doing is spewing meaningless, dissociative, conversation-stopping nonsense that's equivalent to like the warm-up to starting like the bullying that's going to turn into just name-calling. You're not addressing any of the things I've actually said. All right, hold on. I see there's one chunky text that might actually say something of interest. But cognitive dissonance, you're accusing me of experiencing cognitive dissonance. So you're just unaware of and or in denial. By the way, that's a really tired talking point that comes from Trump. Are you gonna accuse me of having Trump derangement syndrome next too? Y'all just regurgitating talking points. It's really adorable when people who are literally following the script that tells them to call other people sheeple for asking them to question the script they're regurgitating. That's the perspective I'm at. You're saying I'm experiencing cognitive dissonance because I'm daring people who blindly support Trump to question why Trump wants blind faith loyalty from politicians and military staff. I'm the sheeple. I'm the one experiencing cognitive dissonance. My friend, that's fucking laughable. I'm not the one defending a registered sex offender con man who has defaulted on business plans multiple times because of his horrible decision making. I'm not defending anybody. I'm asking, how the F can you continue to defend that given the facts on the ground? But if you haven't read Project 2025 and you haven't read the transcripts to the court cases he's lost, then you don't really know what you're defending, do you? But I'm the one that's experiencing cognitive dissonance. I mean, who wrote that line for you, buddy? That is hilarious. Sure, there is people were... What do you mean? Sure, there is people were blind. There's some grammar for you. To previous administrations pay for play with Chinese and Russia. But you are okay with shipping money to foreign countries while cost of living is skyrocketing? I never said anything about that. Do you see what I mean? You're projecting nonsense. I never said anything about anything. That's got nothing to do with what I've said. Absolutely. Never did I say I'm okay with shipping money to foreign countries while cost of living is skyrocketing. In fact, one of my criticisms of Trump is, where is his economic revolution he promised? Both terms, he said he was going to make the economy better, and he did not, objectively, make the economy better for anyone that wasn't making more than $100,000 a year. Or, more. So, and a lot of people make more than $100,000 a year, so I guess that's okay. But he's not making the economy better for me, and he's not making the economy better for anyone who works for a living and is struggling to meet ends, as the saying goes. So, yeah, again, nonsense accusation, but I'm the one that's got cognitive dissonance. Your condescending tone shows more, but the same can be said about your talking points. My talking points... Could you please articulate what my talking points are? You don't know them yet. Have you gone and listened to my podcast as I've invited you to? You can't address my talking points if you have no effing clue what my talking points are. My talking points are, I question Trump because I question everything. But so now you're against questioning everything. You're going to tell me that critical thinking is a sin next. Biden sold us to China and Ukraine, but please tell me more. When did I ever defend Biden? Never have I ever. Politicians do horrible things. Both parties, if you were paying any attention to anything I've said, you would have picked on the hashtag 2 wings, 1 bird. So again, I'm the one experiencing cognitive dissonance when you're the one accusing me of nonsense that have absolutely zero to do what I've said, dude. Zero. Never once have I defended Biden. I'm not defending Biden now, so you bringing Biden up is irrelevant. NVIDIA and Hyundai planned investment. More nonsense. Okay, now you're just taking wild swings at stuff that no one is talking about. Who's the nonsense guy? Meanwhile, Trump has created a coalition with people who adamantly believe, as a matter of blind faith, that it is their God-given duty to put a person of faith chosen by Jesus himself in the White House in order to impose a fake Christian national religion. And if you're not paying attention, he's getting that done. We're supposed to have a separation of church and state in this country. He's opened a national church office to define and endorse the national religion, something the founding fathers literally opposed and said, don't do that, and wrote a thing about in the Constitution. Oh, I see. You've run out of scripty points, so now you've just got laughy mocky face, man. Anybody following along, I think, that has actual an actual appreciation for questioning everything and not just blindly following along is going to agree with me in saying, bro, provide proof of which part? They haven't gotten to expressing a law mandating a single religion yet, but do you not see the direction that they're going in? Did you not read Project 2025? Again, it's easy to deny things if you did not read Project 2025 and you did not read any of the court cases that he's lost. Because what are you arguing? You don't even know what you're defending if you haven't read those things. But we never, in the history of American history, what is buffoonery? Asking you to read facts? Sir, the only buffoonery is you making a fool of yourself right now. If you haven't read the plan that he is working from, but you're defending him and calling me a buffoon for daring to question the plan he denied following, yet is obviously following, who's the buffoon? The one who's blindly defending a plan you didn't read, or someone who's asking you why you aren't reading it and thinking and questioning it? You have a copy of Project 2025. Did you read it? Or did you just buy it to give them money? Did you also buy a Trump autographed Bible? Where is the law mandating a single religion? They haven't gotten there yet, but they've already proposed a law mandating a single language, and they've already opened an office of government religion. And that lady's kook crazy. Have you read the criminal history background on that lady? That lady is a literal, con person that has hacked people's bank accounts. But I'm the buffoon. I'm the brainwashed sheeple. Again, I'm not defending Biden. 2 wings, 1 bird, buddy. Punch and Judy puppet show. Do you understand what that even means? If you're going to come at me with nonsense about Biden, then you don't really understand what I'm saying, and you obviously don't want to. You just want to regurgitate the owning lib talking points you think are so clever that you're copying from somebody's podcast. And you've literally stepped up to someone who's been running a podcast called Good Morning Trumptopia since like the first year of his first administration. You've said nothing new. You have recycled the exact same nonsense that people come at me with, answered none of my questions, except for apparently you do own a copy, brought up all the same tired points that got nothing to do with what I'm saying, and resorted to almost basically name calling. You didn't call me a buffoon, but you heavily implied that I'm a buffoon by saying buffoonery. And it's adorable, but mindlessly unoriginal. If you think you're coming at me with something clever that I haven't seen or heard before, you're talking to the wrong guy. I host a show called Good Morning Trumptopia, and I publicly post about this on Facebook. I've had this exact same, like, you're playing tic-tac-toe and calling it 4D chess. It's cute, except for the fact that it's empowering what's going on. Instead of calling me names, maybe do a little research. There's a freaking documentary on the group called The Family, and they are what's at the center of that whole coalition, because there's multiple groups, including the KKK. Okay, I'm not defending Biden at all. I didn't bring up Biden at all, but you are going out of your way to defend someone who's been adjudicated in court as a sex offender, someone who's tanked multiple companies and is currently tanking the economy and handing over money to oligarchs from other countries. And you're defending him by regurgitating stuff I've seen 1,000 times that has nothing to do with what I've said. I have zero proof that 2025 is being implemented. He's hired people from the Heritage Foundation that worked on the writing of Project 25 into his cabinet. He literally spoke at the Heritage Foundation thanking them for developing the project, promising them that he will execute it faithfully, and it's on tape. You have zero proof of nothing, and you're regurgitating this nonsense claim that I have zero proof when there's an abundance of proof, and it is not on my burden to prove it. It's been proved that he is implementing Project 2025. It is painfully obvious that he's implementing the project directly. And you're just repeating what he says about he says he has the best memory, but then he also doesn't remember anything. He literally spoke at the Heritage Foundation to the people who wrote Project 2025, said, thank you for writing it. I look forward to implementing it. And it's all on tape. Adorable, but wrong, your claim. And this conversation has been thrilling. I was supposed to be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I've talked myself hoarse. And so far, for all your claims, you haven't actually addressed anything I've said in a meaningful way other than to minimize it or try to dismiss it or deny it without any proof. The proof that he's implementing Project 2025 is everywhere. You have zero proof that he is not. Yeah, I am. And I have been since the first administration. So before you try to argue with me, you might want to pay attention and hear me out. Because so far, all you've really done is repeat nonsense, unrelated, scripted talking points at me that are common parlance all over social media, and I've seen 1,000 times. Okay? I'm here. I stand by what I've said, and I have a track record